The next question type that we're going to look at is called highlight image. This is similar to highlight hotspot, but with a little bit of a twist on it. With highlight image, just to note, this is a manually graded question. So there is no correct answer set up in here. If you add a highlight image question to your assessment, you will have to grade this yourself. So it will be one that will prompt you to grade questions from your students. Let's get some information into our question setup here. So I have dropped some kind of extensive instructions on this one. I'm going to be using the same image from the highlight hotspot, but this one is a little bit different because we can provide highlighters to our students to draw on an image within our assessment. So I have 3 different paths that I want my students to read these prompts and go from place to place in the city, marking their path along the way. So I have path 1 is going to be green, and they're going to have a green highlighter. Path 2 is blue. You see they have a blue highlighter, and path 3 is red because you can see that they have a red highlighter. So down here, these colors will be available for students to highlight the image. So you can see each of the 6 colors. So you can have up to 6 different colored things in your image. So let's get our image in here and show you what this is going to look like. So again, this is the same image that I used in the highlight hotspot, but it's going to work a little bit differently. You see, there's nothing here for me to mark on that image because students are going to do the marking themselves. So if we go over and preview this question, I can see here is the image, here is my prompt. So my students would read path 1 is green. On the image, they pick their highlighter color, and then they can start marking things. So I have marked the school with a number 1, so they can kind of do a number 1 here, and then they would follow the path to where they are going. So they can highlight to here, to here, to here, and this is done. And then they can change their color to blue. Maybe blue is starting right here as the number 2, to here, to here, to down here. So with highlight image, they have these 6 different highlighters. They can start over, they can undo something that they did, but they basically highlight an image to show a process or whatever you might want them to do. Just keeping in mind that depending on the device that your student is using, these can be a little bit clunky with that highlighter for writing things. So just keep that in mind and maybe do the preview question to see what it's going to look like for your students. Down here at the bottom, as always, we have the ability to add learning objectives to this type of question. When we are done, we click Save. And since I had 3 paths on that one that I wanted my students to follow, I might change the score for this question to 3 points. And again, keeping in mind that this will be a manually graded question. So once your assessment has been submitted by students, up here under grading, those pop to the top. And you would see that when you're grading this assessment, the ones that need to be manually graded for your students. And that is highlight image.